Good day, everybody. All right, before we get into episode 2 at the river, a lot of it is hindsight. Because while I'm there, I'm focusing on what I need to share with you, what I need to say, what it is I'm trying to tell you as best I can. And at the same time, there are stuff happening around me. I'm hearing sound, I'm hearing footfalls, I'm hearing wood knocks, I'm sensing things, I'm sensing stuff around me, and I still have to try to manage to focus on the camera, right? On you. I know, because I know you're going to hear this and see this, and as this stuff unfolds, I am going to try to share it with you, whatever comes forward. I'm not sure how much I'm going to find out. A lot of times with the colony, most of these colonies, what happens on the colonies stays on the colony, right? We are considered outsiders, very much outsiders. We're English, they're not. It's what they're taught from a very young age. So I don't know how much information they're going to share with me. What I've been able to get, and it's because of 2 or 3 members that I grew up over the years getting to know, because we grew up in the same community, same area, and that's all I get, right? And a lot of times even themselves, depending on how personal it is, they don't talk about a lot of stuff, right? So, but this, because they know me, and because they know my story, and they've heard some of my stories, of the Sasquatch stories, and they've also seen my casts that I've lifted off the property here, they know, and that was why they immediately called me, understanding that I would probably be interested in seeing this stuff, right? So that's how that all unfolded, and I don't know how much more information I'm going to be able to get now, but the gate and all of the stuff that's happening there with the boulders in the field and in the gardens, the tracks in the gardens, they're making a statement, the clan, the River Clan. And I don't know exactly what it is that they're going to do. I think they know what they're doing. They could be targeting individuals or an individual, not to harm them, wake somebody up. That's a common Bigfoot thing. I sometimes believe they know more than we even understand. And a good example, and I am trying to, he hasn't made up his mind, this gentleman, he hasn't made his mind up yet if he will let me interview him and his voice come across in the video. He may not want to be in the video, but he might do audio. But he's 80 years old now. For the majority of his life, he was like the garden man, like the gardener at the colony. Didn't want to think about them, didn't admit to it, didn't believe in them, even though he heard the stories. Nope, he'd have to see it to believe it. And that's exactly what happened, right? That's exactly what happened, and he could no longer deny any of it. And sometimes I don't know for what reason, why certain people, but they do. They do these things, and they will for the ones that are, I guess, the worst of the non-believers, possibly. It's what it looks like. If I look at the numbers and I look at the individuals where these encounters took place, like, okay, you cannot take what you just experienced and throw that away and not believe it, right? If I look at the individuals that those kind of encounters have happened to, they are those ones that are dead set. No way, never, absolutely not, and they will call you crazy if you believe in it. They're the ones who it seems that the Bigfoot will target. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean that like they are not doing this to harm them. They're going to wake them up, right? They're going to open their eyes, and they're going to change them. So yeah, I don't know how much more information I'm going to be able to get. I'm still hoping. We haven't had the rain since the tracks were there, so they could be still there, unless, like I said in my last in my episode 1, they may just go plow those tracks over so that they're not even there, right? I'm thinking it might, just on the way things are going and how these people are, they don't want to believe in something like that, or even entertain the idea or the thought that these are there. It's part of their religion, it's part of their conditioning, it's part of their upbringing. It is what it is. I want to put this one up before episode 2, because this happened the first day that I went, when it was raining. And I did share the one still image of the Sasquatch that was behind me in the trees there. Beautiful. He's just very handsome, strong. He had a little bit of a sad look in his eyes and his face, but I wasn't sensing anything like that. I was sensing concern, a little bit of stress, high energy, where it's like I think they've been using quite a bit of energy to do what they're doing, whatever it is they're doing. I think we'll learn more as we go forward here what it is. There could be more going on there too that I don't know about, right? And the truth always has a way of showing itself, right? So we just got to be patient. And again, with all of this stuff, I ask you for your patience, because it's out of my control, the timelines, and what I gather, what I get, what I'm able to accumulate with everything that's going on there, I will share. But I wanted to put this one. This was the first day that I went, after I got the information from the colony members about the tracks. I went there, it was raining. I would get like 5 minutes of filming, and then I'd have to sit in my truck for 10 minutes because of the rain, and then I'd go out and film for 10, sit in the truck for 5. It was a little crazy. So it was kind of all broken up, but I did share what I shared with you. Then, and this episode 1, I shared the picture, and it was on my post. If you hadn't seen my post, the Bigfoot in my truck was Bigfoot in my truck, right? And this is the video clip that I took the still images from, and you need to really pay attention in between me and my truck, and where my tripod is. You will see him. He's forming there. He shifts, and all of a sudden he disappears. You'll see my tripod and my camera, and all of a sudden everything's blocked out again. I've slowed it down. We zoom in. Kind of amazing, right? And this is the evidence. This is why I was telling people there are some people that are finding stuff in their glasses already. People are trying. They're trying to do this, but I keep telling them, share the clip, the video clip, because I think this could be easily faked. Share the video that you take the pictures from, and the truth is there, right? The evidence is there, and let people decide for themselves. And I think that's just doing this all with transparency, as much transparency as we can, is the best way to go about this. Something comes in between me and my truck, and it's large enough to block out the tripod, block out my door. I don't know where it's situated. To me, it looked like it was coming out of my truck. That's why I said, was Bigfoot in my truck, ? Right? Because I don't know. Are we looking with the anomalies that are taking place with the reflections in the glasses? I don't see them with my own eyes, but the combination between the lens and the lens in my camera and the lenses in my glasses, we're seeing them. Is time and space and distance and dimensions the same? Is his head the size of my truck, or is he close to my camera? Close enough to block everything that's reflecting in front of me, the environment in front of me. It's that one's I'm having difficulty wrapping my mind around. When I see it happening, and then how large is he? How big is he? How small is he? He's big enough to, or is he encompassing, or is he warping over my camera? Right? Is he engulfing my camera? But I mean, he looks huge because he's blocking out 3/4 of my door, my truck door. And is he coming out of my truck door towards the camera? It's difficult to tell. It's difficult to know. So I mean, we're left with more questions, which is good, right? It's food for thought. This is what I want to play for you now, because I had shared the still images. I wanted to share the video of where I took the stills from. There's more of that video because I stood there in front of my truck for a good 10 minutes and talked, but I wanted to take a portion of it just to show you where I took some of the stills from, and for you to see how this is taking place, right? There is something there. There is something blocking out my truck door and my camera and tripod. I mean, he's there, right? He's there. And I hope you enjoy. Stay tuned for episode 2 at the river. Episode 2 will take us to the gifting site, and there was some amazing things take place while I was there, on the human side of things, as well on the Sasquatch, where it pertains to Sasquatch. There was definitely a different energy, and it felt empty of the little ones. That was interesting, and I'm not sure, but it may have been because there was campers there all weekend. 2 families were camped right there, and there was about 5 kids, small kids, and running all over the place in that area. And I think that may have played a part in what I was picking up, the feelings. I wasn't sensing the little people. I wasn't sensing that energy, and the Sasquatch seemed to be farther off. But they were there and showed up just as I was leaving. Again, as things go forward, if any more information comes in, if I get a chance to get into the garden area there, I'm still trying. Nobody's returning my calls, and I think the garden man just wants to forget it, right? He wants to just put it out of sight, out of mind, and just continue like nothing's happening. But I don't think it's going to happen that way, right? Time will tell. All right. Anyway, thank you all for being here again. If there's any new subscribers, thank you for coming on board. And I will see you in the trees. Take care. Bye for now. You have, a 200-pound wolf in a snare, and he's pulling, and he can't escape it. They die there. The wolves, they're strong, right? And they can't break them. But yet the snares that they set were just pulled apart, snapped apart, and ruined. And it freaked them out. They stopped setting snares up there in the hill. No way. You have, a 200-pound wolf in a snare, and he's pulling, and he can't escape it. They die there. The wolves, they're strong, right? And they can't break them. But yet the snares that they set were just pulled apart, snapped apart, and ruined. And it freaked them out. They stopped setting snares.